Are they having a picnic over there? Without us?
So you never but it is we happen there. I be your eye never clear. Mankind so wicked. I talk about my government.
You know something, Zozo? Every August 1st, Emancipation Day, there used to be a big picnic in this park.
What's Emancipation Day?
It was a day that celebrated the ending of slavery. I don't know if you read about it in school, but
No.
there was a time when people would take other people, and because of their skin color, they would seize them, take them away from their families,
Why?
because they thought that they were less than humans. And they didn't accept it at all. All kinds of people, all kinds of races, they became involved in the anti-slavery movement. And eventually slavery was ended, and the day it was ended, August 1st, 1834. So every August 1st, for a long time, in this park here, people would come together to celebrate the ending of slavery. So that's the story of Emancipation Day.
Wow. Thank you for telling me that.
Okay, are you going to go to the library and do some reading on it sometime?
I don't know.
To me, Emancipation Day means celebration. It serves as a reminder of the oppression my ancestors faced back then and the oppression my people still face today. Emancipation Day means strength and resilience.
To me, Emancipation Day means freedom,
family, celebrating Black history,
awareness, learning more about my family history,
the opportunity to learn, especially for our young people, so they can know about where they came from, so they can be proud of their heritage today.
It means freedom, it means change, and it means movement toward the future.
I just love the sound of those steel pans. Welcome, everybody. Good morning and happy Emancipation Day. We're so happy that the House of Commons unanimously voted to designate today, August 1st, Emancipation Day. It's something that's been celebrated by my family, and we're just so happy to be bringing it all to the public and just making it a bigger celebration each and every year. We are Matter of Black. We are the organizers of Emancipation Day STC. We're so happy to be joining you. We've got Natasha Bell. She's also the founder of BlackOwned905, which we've got a great market. Tasha, can you tell us a little bit more about the market we have going on today?
Absolutely, Erica. Thank you. We have a virtual market happening today. It's going live at 11:30. You can find the link on BlackOwned905 bio. We have a lot of great vendors available. And even if you don't see the vendors on the market, check out all of the businesses that are listed on BlackOwned905. Personally, I do have a lot of favorites.
It's hard not to.
Right? I love them all, but for instance, Soulicious pepper sauce, actually amazing. So if you haven't tried Soulicious, I would highly recommend. And also check out Jamrock on Welland Avenue. They are having a barbecue today, so check them out.
Yeah, I heard it's supposed to be a vibe out front of Jamrock today.
It's a nice way to kind of end a great weekend. So fortunate to have their support.
Yeah, so get out there, get some food. I know this weekend, Flavor Fuel has been a huge supporter of Emancipation Day. Unfortunately, they're closed today. It's just not their business hours. But yesterday, they had some great $5 specials. So if you've got some craving for some delicious, hard-hitting, healthy food, get to Flavor Fuel as well. They're fantastic and a lovely family, too.
I actually heard they sold out yesterday, so that's awesome.
Oh, way to support. We're so happy. That's wonderful.
Thank you for you supported them.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So Emancipation Day in St. Catharines, we have some deep roots here. One of the stops that we went on in a tour, Rochelle Bush from the church, she's the historian as well as the trustee. She does Tubman tours. It's her company that she runs. And, you know, she's a wealth of knowledge. And we were lucky to meet up with her and go to some very important landmarks in this city. So one of the first landmarks that we want to share with you is at the BME Church on Geneva Street. And there's this beautiful bodice of Harriet Tubman. So we're going to show the clip of Rochelle, you know, just giving us that knowledge about our Black history here in St. Catharines.
Harriet Tubman, the Moses of her people. She was definitely one of the pinnacle, iconic people who helped us escape slavery.
I definitely believe Tubman was a trailblazer. More importantly, she was the great emancipator. So not only was she self-liberated in 1849, she went back to rescue others. And they believed that she was the deliverer. They also believed that she had supernatural powers. But Tubman made St. Catharines her last stop on the Underground Railroad.
How do you possess the strength and the courage to not only get yourself free, but then to go back countless times to free other people? It's incredible that she had those superpowers.
She had faith in God.
That's right.
Here, Harriet Tubman is a person of national importance, so we actually have two plaques at the Salem Chapel, her provincial plaque as well as her national plaque.
I have so many fond memories of being in that church. And honestly, every time I walk through those doors, it just feels like this warm blanket of love. Like there's just this community feel. If you ever get the opportunity to go, I know the pandemic has really restricted our access to a lot of these beautiful buildings and sites in St. Catharines. But if you ever get the opportunity to even go on Tubman Tours or the Facebook page, Tubman Tours, and get into that church, it's just the feeling in there and the information you'll be given by Rochelle Bush is just incredible. She's a wealth of knowledge. It's fantastic. We also took a trip down to what's currently called Centennial Gardens. It's a park in St. Catharines off of Oakdale. And it's a beautiful park. I've always walked by all these blue plaques within our city and wondered, like, what does it mean? And if you take the time, if you ever see one of those big blue plaques, take the time to go and read it. Our city is rich with history, and we're hopeful. I mean, Matter of Black is in full support of the renaming of Centennial Gardens to the Richard Pierpoint Park. And this next clip will give you some insight as to why we think it's an appropriate renaming and why we'd like it to be represented in our city as Richard Pierpoint Park.
Walking in this park, why would Richard Pierpoint's plaque be here specifically?
Because he owned part of this property. So Pierpoint was the first person of African descent to settle in Grantham Township, which is now modern-day St. Catharines. He fought for the British during the American Revolution. He was enslaved.
Yeah.
The call came out.
Captain Dick part of this story, right?
Yeah, the Captain Dick part is for the War of 1812. But that creek that runs behind the tree line there is named after him. So after his service during the American Revolution, he received a land grant, and this was part of his property.
How did they establish this as being the land that he was then granted?
The land was divided up between veterans. So I guess when his number came up, this is the property that was allotted to him, so 200 acres. During the War of 1812, the British Army did decide to raise an all-black militia. Pierpoint was enlisted in that army. And while he was arguing with the British officer, his most famous quote is, "I was born a free man and I intend to die a free man." And at the age of 68, he enlisted. He was an older man and they said, just go on and farm your land. And Pierpoint said no. What's amazing in his part of his narrative that I appreciate is the fact that when he passed away, he lived to see all of his people who were in British colonies emancipated.
Yes. And that's what we get to celebrate today, is that the emancipation
Absolutely.
of all of our brothers and sisters.
That's right.
That's great.
So, fact about Matter of Black is 3 of our members, myself, Natasha Bell, as well as Jada Stainhouse, we are descendants of freedom seekers. So Emancipation Day is something we grew up with. We actually, I know I thought about these Emancipation Day picnics as our family reunion. It wasn't until I was about 15 that I saw a little sign saying Emancipation Day, and I was like, why are they trying to rename our family reunion? Tasha, do you remember those picnics?
Absolutely. They're probably the best memories of my childhood.
Yeah, it was, if we got a hold of a mic, there was singing, there was dancing, there was sharing of food. You didn't necessarily have to bring a plate, but the plate would be offered to you. We're hopeful to get it back to that point where it's just that great community feel. But as descendants of freedom seekers, Emancipation Day is it's something that is so important to us. And my 2 times great-grandfather was a freedom seeker from Virginia. He followed the Underground Railroad, and he did not have the guidance of Harriet Tubman, which a good amount of people did, but she had already set up all of those channels and all of those, conductors along the way to help people who just sought their own freedom. And a fellow freedom seeker is going to be presented in this next video, and he has roots in the Victoria Lawn Cemetery, where that's where he's been laid to rest. And if you were to go to that cemetery, you'll see there's a plastic encasement of his grave just to preserve it. So again, some rich history that a lot of people don't know about. And we're going to segue to our next clip, which is about Seaburns.
My 2 times great-grandfather, Adam Nicholson, was an escaped slave from a Virginia plantation, and he followed the Underground Railroad, but without any of the guidance from Harriet Tubman. I know that there were definitely other people who sought their own freedom in their own way. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, one of the primaries, of course, was Reverend Anthony Burns. So when he actually arrived, he was a free man. But he also escaped from Virginia in May 1854, and he made his way to Boston. Under the 1850 Fugitive Slave Law, he made the mistake of acknowledging his slaveholder, who was in hot pursuit of him. So he was apprehended on the streets of Boston. He was eventually returned to slavery, but during that time there was a short trial. So it was 5 days, and it turned into the largest abolitionist revolt in American history. And then about a year later, his friends from Boston purchased his freedom. Burns chose to go to school and study theology. Then by 1860, he made his way to St. Catharines.
And again, the historical plaques all throughout our city, take the time to stop and read them because they're rich with our history.
Canada was referred to as the Promised Land. It wasn't perfect, there was a lot of racism, but St. Catharines was a hub of abolitionist activity.
Yeah.
So, there's a wealth of history here and a wealth of individuals who are actually buried here at Victoria Lawn Cemetery.
Yes, and a wealth of reason why to celebrate Emancipation Day.
Again.
You're on mute, Erica.
Sorry, right in our very own city. I hit that mute button 3 times. It pop up anyways. Right in our very own city. So much history and so much to be learned and celebrated. like I'd mentioned earlier, and actually I've got to stop. I said Seaburns going into that last video. Rochelle, praise her. She knows it all. I did mean Anthony Burns, but sometimes the live gets you. So Lakeside Park is where the picnic was known. It was a word of mouth tradition. If you'd been the previous year around, it was always the first weekend in August. And if you'd been, then you knew that there was going to be a great celebration. If you'd missed out a year, then you knew to show up the next year, the first weekend in August. We are bringing that tradition back, and we are so hopeful that we'll actually be live. One of the very interesting parts about St. Catharines is that we have a 5-cent carousel, and it's been preserved at that price of 5 cents, which in today's market is insane. But the city still has that running for us because it was donated, and it's a part of the city. But there is an actual significant horse on that ride, and this next video is going to talk a little bit about that.
I remember this carousel from when I was a child, but
me too.
Yeah, I loved it. I'd run around. I liked the ones with the loose hair the best, but I didn't know that there was some significance to the actual horses that were on the carousel.
Yeah, so the one would be the black horse. So the oral tradition states that horse represents the colored corps, and the colored corps were the pallbearers when General Isaac Brock was buried.
That's awesome. So we've got some significance here with the black horse on the carousel.
And the carousel itself. So at one point it was not enclosed, but it's the last remaining rides for the amusement park. So when it was the famous midway of Lakeside Park, where we would celebrate Emancipation Day from the mid-1920s all the way to when it petered out, say the mid-1960s.
It's a beautiful carousel, so I'm glad that we still have it here. I'm glad those rides have remained 5 cents because it means everybody gets access.
5 cents!
I guess it's no secret that I love a deal. So that BlackOwned market, get out there, get shopping, because you're going to find some great deals. So ladies, what are our hopes and dreams for next year's celebration? Like certainly this pandemic has, stifled some of the ways that we can celebrate, but it has not crushed our spirits. We're coming to you virtual. And what do we want next year to look like?
We definitely want it to be in person. We definitely want to celebrate. We had a little sneak peek of that last night when we had the concert outside downtown St. Catharines. That was so fun. And so hopefully we can have that celebration in a bigger way next year. That's definitely our number one goal. Yeah.
I want to see the whole community in Lakeside Park just celebrating a full day of celebrating and just enjoying the day.
Yeah. And Tasha, what about a market? How would that look next year?
One of my biggest dreams and goals is to have an in-person market, an in-person Black-owned vendors market. And that's something I look forward to so much. And I have the vision and I can see it and I can't wait. I know next year we are going to be in person. We have to be.
Yeah, we're putting that energy out there. We are going to be planned. We even planned this year as if we were going to be in person. And then, but the nice thing about what we've been doing is we've have this virtual outlet. The First Ontario Performing Arts Center has been instrumental in helping us just get the message out there and have all of these virtual platforms in order for a broader community or a broader aspect of the community to be able to enjoy, because not everybody can make it to Lakeside Park. So I know even from teaching lessons from the pandemic, if you could do it online, if you could do it all online, then you can do it in person with the access to online just to make everything even more accessible. So our hope and dream is next year in person, and to be bringing some aspect of it to you broadcasted live as well, so that everybody can enjoy. But we certainly miss the community feel, and we want to be out there celebrating Emancipation Day, having picnics. BlackOwned905, yes, with their market would be fantastic. And we also highlighted 905 picnics, which have great picnic arrangements. So hopefully we'll have some great picnics, great times ahead. We've got some fantastic programming for you for the rest of the day. After this, we'd like for you to hop into the Hop-In market, where you'll see some of our featured businesses, Black-owned businesses. And if you don't see what you're looking for there, then hop right over to Instagram, go on to the BlackOwned905 page, and they'll have a whole list. Tasha's done a fantastic job of just, highlighting different aspects. Like there's therapists, there's manicurists, there's anything that you can think of, mechanics on that website, just to support Black-owned. It's a fantastic avenue to find what's out there.
Yeah.
Also, if you do want to support and you don't really want to purchase anything, check out Erica's Embrace, and you can make a small donation. She purchases Black hair care products to give to shelters, so that's also an option.
Yeah, Mutsa, can you speak to the need of that? Because I know that you are right there with Erica's Embrace, helping put that out into the community.
Yes, definitely. For Erica's Embrace, we do appreciate all the support that we have been getting from the community thus far. It's been amazing. We've been able to donate a whole bunch of different hair care and beauty products. And the reason why this was started is because from working in these shelters, we noticed how there's, a regular donation that comes in each day, but those donations were not suitable for Black women. For example, there's foundations that were of lighter shades and just hair products that Black women can't really use on their hair. So we wanted to be able to meet their needs as well, because they are in a time of need, right? So anything that you can donate, shampoos, conditioners, we do makeup products. There's a full list on our website, ericasembrace.com, that you can see which products. If you don't know where to start, we have a full list of what you can donate. And even if you don't have time to go to the store and purchase these products, we do also have an option to donate, and then we go out and we purchase these products to be able to donate to these ladies. So yes, everything that's been done thus far has been amazing. We've been able to hit a lot of shelters within this region and even within Hamilton and in Toronto as well. So your continuous support is definitely appreciated.
And just to make the connection for everyone, Erica from Erica's Embrace is our other Erica from Matter of Black. So she's been a part of all of this planning. She facilitated a great panel discussion, which provided just so much insight. And so same with yours, Mutsa. It was very insightful and very well put together. So all of the links for today, the live stream later with the TD Niagara Jazz, will be on the First Ontario Performing Arts website. And we will also be streaming everything through the Matter of Black Facebook page, as well as BlackOwned905. And Jada is taking over again today, Mayor Walter Sendzik social media page. So she'll be highlighting some things. She's done a fantastic job with that. So please get out, support local, support Black owned, and enjoy Emancipation Day. Have a great celebration. And we're so pleased to be bringing this to you and look forward to bigger and better things to come.